Right.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to VIIM System Information Session number 2. This is a live session, so please engage with the chat. If you are logged into YouTube, feel free to send chats to us right there. If you're not able or would prefer email, you can email vimsystemhelp@dmv.virginia.gov. Now we will turn it over to our hosts.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Patrick Harrison. I'm the Assistant Commissioner for Motor Carrier Services at Virginia DMV. Today, we are hosting the second in our series of 4 live stream events designed to introduce you to our new IFTA and IRP system, which is going to be going live on Monday, August 11th. The new system, the Virginia IFTA IRP Management, or VIIM system, is going to replace the current Virginia MCS solution. In our first session, our first live stream, we walked you through how to set up an account and access to the VIIM system through DMV's Motor Carrier Portal. Today's event, we're going to walk you through several basic transactions in the new system, giving you a first look at the interface and at the functionality of VIIM system. Leading the presentation again today will be the experts from DMV's IFTA and IRP management team, led by Deputy Director Shannon Hardy. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and the members of her team who will be leading today's presentation and Q&A.
Hello everyone, I am Shannon Hardy, Deputy Director of the IFTA IRP team. I want to introduce my team as they have worked very hard on this project. To my left is Yolanda Fleming, Manager of the Operations team in IFTA IRP. And although you can't see the others, they're going to still say hello. We have Taylor Robinson, who is the Manager of the Administrative Operations team. Hi, everyone. And Amy Huffman, who is the manager of our customer contact team. Hello, everyone. And also the voice that you never see but hear is Chad Fairman, who is the project manager over our new VIIM system project.
Hello.
All right, so today we are going to get started, and he is going to show you some screens. All right, so we're going to go over our forms overview. We're just going to briefly touch on the forms, how you can find them, where they are. We're also going to do some demos as we promised in the last session. We'll show you an ad vehicle with a license plate transfer, a IFTA decal transaction, and an IFTA tax return transaction. Everyone yesterday who are current users of the Virginia MCS system should have received an email. That email would have included a link to the OCTA authentication. When you enter that, as Chad is hovering over the orangish yellow link, it says Activate OCTA Access. And once you activate your OCTA, you should be able to log in using your username and password to the motor carrier portal. Once you log into the portal, you will see the link for the VIIM system. I know in the last session I said that link would not be there, but I was incorrect, so the link is there. However, when you click on it, if you click on it, you will get an error because the system is not live. So that link will work on Monday morning. And on Monday morning, when you click that link, you will receive the home page for the VIIM system. Once you receive that home page, you should click on the login with OCTA, and that is like a single sign-on, so it will take the user information that you applied to the motor carrier portal, pass it through to VIIM system, and you will be successful in logging in. I know that there are probably lots of questions in regards to logging in and username information, so please send that information to the chat and the email, but we're going to save those questions till the end.
Ready for some videos?
Ready for some videos?
All right.
All right, so we're going to start with the application overview. We did pre-record these, so I'm going to talk through them as the screens are changing. This is the VIIM system homepage. As you can see, I'm clicking on register a new IFTA and IRP account. So this is the new electronic application that is outside of login. It gives you some information as to what you can expect and maybe what should be your next steps. The new account will not include vehicles, so you will see that that's definitely going to be a new change. So we're going to click next. And the first screen that we will get will be your customer information. So you're going to select your business type and you must enter everything that has a red star. The 2 emails down there at the bottom, that is how you will receive email notification in regards to your electronic application through the process. We're not going to continue through the whole thing though today. So next is going to be the paper application that you guys are so used to filling out either by paper or electronically, which is the original IRP 1A. Pull that up. So it has changed a little bit. We have a new logo, which DMV is very excited about. But these are the new pages of the new IRP 1A. The biggest change that you will notice is that you will no longer give us vehicle information. A new exciting thing that I'm highlighting there is for electronic notification. If you don't like to receive paper mail, you should opt into that electronic notification. This is for your distance, and this page is for your signature and IFTA information. Really no changes there. The next application should be the IRP 1B. So it's doing a search, it's going to find it, and then I'm going to pull it up and show it to you. All right, so the IRP 1B is going to be the everything after the original is created. I'm keying in an email address, so again, if you want notification about your application status, you should fill that out. Pages are sort of the same, however, again, we give you the ability to opt into the electronic notification. Again, if you don't want to receive paper mail, you should opt into that. All right, one change for vehicles. Today, we ask you for a lease begin date. We will now ask you for a lease end date, so make sure you give us the end date. Additionally, you'll see some new questions. Does the vehicle pull a trailer? Do you haul hazardous materials? And sadly, I can't read the last one. Oh, do you transport milk? Okay, let me get the glasses up on my face better. Those are our new questions that drive fees and or requirements for US DOT number information. All right, a new exciting transaction for everyone is a fleet-to-fleet transfer. This will allow you to transfer a vehicle from one of your fleets to another one of your fleets, and you will do that by filling out this page of the application.
This is all available online as well within the VIIM system, right?
All right, another new option. We now give you the ability to remove your overload permit in the event you accidentally requested it and you no longer needed it, and maybe law enforcement suggested, get rid of it. So now let's add it to the application, but you can also do that online. The pages are just changing through, no changes to these pages. And let's see, the next application should be an IFTA, probably the RD2120, yes. It's going to search that, just showing you how to do it. You'll pull it up. I'm going to pull it up from the bottom. All right, so here's the IFTA licensing and decal application. Let's see, I'm going to highlight 2 new things, activate IFTA decal and inactivate IFTA decal. So we will let you do that now, both online and by application. Again, I'm highlighting electronic notification. So if you don't want paper mail, you should opt into that. And I highlighted automatic renewal. So if you don't want to have to submit a IFTA renewal application, you should opt into auto renewal for IFTA. It will automatically renew you for the number of decals that you had last year. We're just scrolling through the application, truly no changes until we get to the section where you're going to tell us which decals, based on the serial number, that you would like to inactivate and or possibly activate. It's there in the middle of the application. Shortly it will pause and then I will highlight it. There you go. Some of you might say, why would I want to do that? Those that have owner-operators, when your owner-operator leaves your company, they typically take the decal with the truck because it's a sticker. So this way you can inactivate that decal. All right, next is going to be the IFTA tax return and the IFTA tax return instructions. Again, all of this is still available online. You don't have to fill out the paper applications, which then become images, but we're showing you just so you are aware. Tax return didn't have too many major changes. You will probably think it is the same. There are slight changes to accommodate VIIM system. There is information on the back of it, and I'm going to highlight it, about the possibility of a credit card fee of 1.5%. That will not take place with Go Live, but it could come in the near future, and we will make sure everyone is notified before that fee is applied. This is the instructions. You get the instructions today, and so we just updated it just to kind of bring it into fruition with VIIM system. No major changes. All right, so that ends the first video. The next video that we are going to show you is an overview of what your home screen will look like once you log into VIIM system. So this is my company, and my company has an IFTA account, and my company has an IRP account. So you can see that there is a broad overview of the information when you expire and all of the transactions that you have available to you within each program level account. Next, I'm just going to click on the tabs just to show you the different items we now have available. So in the Action tab, this is all the messages that you have been sent. Receipts, I know many companies love to have receipts, so here are your receipts. You click in your Action Center. You can print it, you can archive it. Archive it just has it so you don't have to keep seeing it. If you have many, you can search. We're going to go back. Settings is the next tab. Most companies will not use settings at all. You want to be careful with what you click on within the settings because you can see that cancel access. So you really don't want to cancel your access unless you truly do not want it anymore. Next is more. There are many options within more. Registration, submissions, messages, letters. Ooh, what's letters? Letters is now where you can go find all the letters that DMV mailed to you in regards to IFTA and IRP. Such an exciting thing to have. Going back to summary, and that should conclude the overview recording. All right, I believe next is the add vehicle. All right, so I'm going down to my IRP, and I'm choosing vehicles, and you're going to see add a new vehicle. I'm going to put in the last four of the VIN number and my title number. It's coming. And next. All right, so the system is going to go out to the DMV mainframe and pull in all the attributes that it has for that vehicle. You should only need to enter the values that we do not have. So combo axles, so that's the total number of axles of your power unit and your trailer. Those are those same new questions that you saw on the application. I'm just showing you, you can check yes or no. Next is some additional vehicle details. You're welcome to change it and answer it appropriately as you go. Next is lease information. So the vehicle that I'm adding doesn't belong to my IRP account holder, therefore it's leased. So I have to enter the begin lease date and the end lease date. Next is the motor carrier responsible for safety. I'm going to put in some bogus information and it is going to give us an error when we are done, but forgive me. That's what we had to do for the demo. That's how you change if the safety is going to change during the reporting period, purchase information, and now your weights. You have the ability to use default weights. You have the ability to create new weight groups. This is going to be the gross weight, so this is what your fees are charged based on. And at the bottom, you can save it for later. We're going to talk about transfer here in a minute. There's nothing to transfer. It's a new vehicle. All right, we want a perm plate. If you want personalized and whether or not you want an overload. So we're going to do an overload too. And there's your summary and save. Now, if you had other things to do, you could do it all within one supplement. But I am going to go ahead and search for where do I submit the supplement. And I find it in pending. And I click submit. And I certify. And we're going to get the error. That is because I put in that bogus motor carrier responsible for safety information. So I paused it, I went and fixed it, I came back, and now here we are. We have an invoice. So hopefully you guys will not be putting in bogus information. This is how you'll get the invoice. Looks a little similar, which is good. We have that new great logo there at the top. And now I'm going to make a payment. For the demos, I used electronic check. You're going to have to put in your confirmation amount. It just makes sure that you're going to pay what DMV said we were charging you. We're going to put in a routing number. And I'm going to put in a bogus account number. And then next, I get a confirmed submission and confirmation. So now it has gone off to the DMV team to release the credentials. Once the credentials are released, your cab card will print and inventory is pulled. I came back in here, so I paused the video just so you could see it after we put the plates on it. So there's the vehicle now that it's done, and that's the plate that the system pulled. So that's it for add vehicle. And next is transfer. You will see it's a little similar. You're going to go back into view registration. And I am going to pretend that I had no idea what I was doing. So I am going to click add a new vehicle because it just seems like that's what I should do. But I did it just so that you could see if you make a mistake, it's okay. You can start over. So I'm putting in my title number for the new vehicle and my VIN puller. And I'm going to say next. And on the next screen, loading, please wait. It's going to tell us if transferring a license plate from another vehicle, that vehicle must be deleted before the plate can be transferred. So I said, oh, I need to cancel this. So I scroll down and I cancel. It says, are you sure? So yes. Now I'm going to choose the vehicle I need to delete. And this is no different than how you would delete it if you were deleting it, except for we would choose delete vehicle and we wouldn't want to transfer the plate. You would want to delete it maybe for a refund or some other reason. So here are the reasons. So if you wanted a refund, you would choose with Virginia refund, but we're transferring now. So we're going to choose transfer. And then next. All right, so it's going to ask you some information like, do you want to do anything with the vehicle after you remove the plate? You can leave all those fields blank. So if there's no disposition, just leave the fields blank. But for the demo, I decided I sold my vehicle. So I'm going to choose sold. And then I sold it to someone that lived in DC. So I do believe I choose District of Columbia, and I sold it yesterday. And then next. Oh, yes, I'm going to highlight just in case there's no disposition, just leave the fields blank. Give you a summary of what you've done just in case you need to be reminded, and save. And then OK for the confirmation. Now, if you notice, we're still in the same supplement. Nothing is saying that we've started a new supplement, so we are just continuing. And now we're adding the new vehicle like we initially started, but we canceled out of. So putting in the title and the VIN for and next. Again, the DMV mainframe is going to pull in the vehicle attributes. You can make your unit number indications, whatever makes you happy, but I just left that alone for the demo. You do need to enter your combo axles. You can also answer the 4 new questions if they are applicable. And then next. We have the additional vehicle details, which I don't change. Vehicle is leased though, so I must enter the leased from date and to date, so beginning and ending. You always have to enter the carrier responsible for safety. So I'm entering in bogus information again. So guess what? We're going to get another error, but I'm going to fix it. Here's the weights. You can choose the defaults. You can create a new custom weight group, but for the demo, I use the defaults. So every jurisdiction is set at 80. All right, transfer license plate. So the answer now is yes. And then we're going to select license plate. If you had a whole list, you would just choose the one you want to transfer. So I did that. Next. Next, it's going to ask if you want to transfer your overload. So I said yes. And now we have our summary. And we're going to save and OK. So now I'm going to go submit the supplement because I don't want to do anything else today. We're going to go into pending. We are going to click submit. We're going to get another error, but then I'm going to pause the video. You guys won't even know it. And I'm going to fix the error and come back in. But again, it's just because I put in bogus USDOT number information, which we shouldn't be doing anyway. So it's confirmed. Everything worked great. You can see I now owe $219.68. I'm going to go view the invoice. Here's the invoice. Again, it will look similar to what you have today. And then we'll make a payment once we get back in the system. Again, I will select it, and I'm pretty sure I used e-check again. I'm going to put in the confirmation amount just to ensure you know that you were paying $219.68. You'll put in your routing number and your account number. I'm just using bogus account number information. Tell you where to find everything. Next. And we have a confirmation submission, and we're going to submit. And OK. So again, the credentials have gone off to the internal DMV team to release your cab card, we have to pull inventory because we're transferring the overload, which is pulling new overload decals. I'm going to log back in and show you the result after the credentials are released. So now you can see where the original vehicle is now deleted. We have a new vehicle that is now added, and there's our plate showing you how it was transferred. That is the end of the transfer. Next should be an IFTA decal. Super short and super simple. So here's our IFTA account. I'm going to go into Manage Decals. You see there are many requests, but we are going to use the option for Request Decals. I'm just showing you all the different options you have to choose. Next. And this is how I could replace decals or order new. So I'm going to order new because we added a new vehicle. And it's 2025, so the correct year, we're going to have 1 because we added 1 vehicle. It's $10, no change there. You can enter in special mailing instructions in case you want them to go somewhere different. I quickly just choose alternate address. I click next just so you can see where you would enter in that alternate address. And then I go back to the previous screen. And I change my mind and choose standard. You could also select UPS or FedEx. Just remember you gotta supply us with your prepaid label. Next is the review. So this is your summary. And submit. And your confirmation. And we're going to go back to the main page. Now you can see that we owe $10 for the 1 decal. We'll make a payment. We'll select the item that we want to pay. And I'm sorry, I'm using a check again. Next. You'll see I'll put in $10 for the confirm amount. I'll very quickly add my routing and account number. Next. Submit. Okay. All right, so it's gone off to the DMV team to release your credentials. They're releasing them. They're putting them in the mail. And that is the end for that. The next is the tax return. You'll have to forgive me. It's going to be a short one because it's for a quarter that's technically not owed yet. But we're going to try the best we can. So we're going to say File Now. This is going to give you a little bit of information as to what you should file, how you should file, if it's an amendment versus an original. Once you read it, we're going to say Next. Here's a new option that's offered to everyone. If you want to import tax return data, you can do that now. If you need additional instructions, you're going to click on that template where it says Here. And then you're going to use the link that says Import Return Data. And so that's how you will import it from an external resource. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to click Next. And here is the new tax return layout. You will see that diesel's already selected, and that's because I entered diesel when I created the account. But I can add new fuel types. I'm going to put in some crazy amount of miles, and then I'm going to put in some gallons. The system's going to calculate our MPG. And then I'm going to say, did I do that wrong? So I'm going to change my gallons because maybe I was looking at the wrong paperwork. I just wanted you to see that you could change if you made a mistake. Oh boy, that's really not a good MPG. Nowhere near applicable to my operation. So I double checked my distance. I did that wrong too. So there you go. Now you can see that you can easily change the figures even before you submit it. Down at the bottom is where you're going to indicate the jurisdictions that you traveled in. You can type in VA, you can select it in the drop down. It's all super user friendly. So now I'm just going to put in the total distance that I traveled in Virginia, the total that is taxable, and the total fuel that I purchased in Virginia. You're going to see that there's a red arrow over there saying no rate found. That's because we should not be filing the third quarter yet. But I needed you to see something because that's what you guys requested. I will scroll down and show you. You can add another jurisdiction. Just click on the box. You can choose it. You can type it in. It's all super user friendly. You could save it and come back to it later, but we're going to cancel it because we shouldn't be filing it anyways.
That's it.
I believe that's it. Alrighty, so that concludes the videos for today. But we said we would get back to the chats and the emails. So we might do a round robin. We'll let Taylor and Amy give us some chat questions, and then maybe we'll go to Yolanda with some emails. If you guys can't hear us, please tell us to repeat the question in the chat. We are going to have to cut the YouTube session at 2 o'clock. So if we don't get to your questions, we either will respond to you by email or we will notate it and save it for the next session.
Taylor's been answering some in chat as we've gone as well. So.
Look at that, Taylor. Thank you. Alrighty, Taylor. What is the first question in chat?
Should they be getting the 504 gateway timeout?
So you're getting that because VIIM system is not available until Monday.
Are we using our old credentials? So yes.
You will use old credentials if you use them for Easy Fleet only. So if you already today log in through the motor carrier portal and you access Easy Fleet, that is the credential that you can use moving forward. You will not use your Virginia MCS credentials. Everyone that has Virginia MCS user information now should have received an email yesterday with the Okta link information. If you didn't, email us at the vimsystemhelp@dmv.virginia.gov.
Check your junk mail and email.
And spam.
Most of it was they didn't receive the email, so I told them to reach out to the help email. And then the biggest question is, can they access the individual videos that we've shown at a later time?
Is it saved within the YouTube session?
It's reference. Yeah, you should be able to reference this as long as you have the link, and we can look at ways to publish the videos separately. One thing, if people were sharing emails, it's one email per person for your Okta. If you were sharing a login, that's kind of bad security practice anyway. You will not be able to do that going forward. You'd have to set up a new user ID.
And one of the things that they would like to see next time is how to upload agent agreements.
Yes, we can do that next time. Yolanda?
Most of the questions that I received were, well, they weren't really questions, but saying that they got the 504 error. So of course, VIIM will not be available until Monday, August 11th. And then I did receive a couple of emails stating that they did not receive the email with the Okta information.
All right, so if you didn't receive your email yesterday, shoot us an email to the VIIM system help. We will see what we can do to help you get the information for the Okta authentication. I'm going to repeat everything that Taylor said just in case you didn't hear her. So Taylor was asking about the 504 error. So again, VIIM is not available until Monday. You will and should be able to log into the motor carrier portal today, as long as you have activated your Okta authentication. You can log in. You will see the link Although I said you wouldn't last time, but you will see it now. Just don't click it because it won't work until Monday. Taylor, what else did you say? Next time we will talk about agent agreements. That came from Amy.
If they didn't receive the email,
We'll just
reach out.
Yep. Reach out to VIIM System Help at dmv.virginia.gov. Is there any new questions in chat or email?
I did receive a question. If we already have the Easy Fleet Okta log on, should we still have received the welcome email?
No. They'll just see VIM system when they log in the motor carrier portal.
Good to go.
Chad says you are good to go. You will use your username and password that you used today to log into the portal because you're still logging into the portal. And then you will still see your Easy Fleet link, and you will also see VIM system link. So you'll just click on the link for the system that you want to enter into.
Here's a great question. If we have someone who has Okta for Easy Fleet already, but did not have access to Virginia MCS, will they now have access to them?
That is a fabulous question. So the answer is no. You will need to request access to VIM system, and you do that from the home page. We can possibly, if we have time at the end of the video, we can pull that home page back up and show you how to get there and show you where you click on the link. We will have information on our DMV website that will also tell you how to get there to request access to the VIM system. Anything else?
Any other questions?
All right.
I don't have any.
No?
No more questions to you.
No more questions through chat?
I see one. Says everything in the MCS, will everything in the MCS system roll into Okta? And if we were already set up for auto renew, does that also roll into the new system?
So no, if you had opted into the auto renewal process with Virginia MCS, you will need to opt into it again. And your information that's in the current Virginia MCS system will be converted into the new VIM system, not necessarily Okta. Okta is just your security information for your username and password.
And from a history perspective, they should be seen 2019 to current.
Roughly history, 2017 to current for some tax return outstanding debts that hopefully no one on this call has. But others will see 2019 to current.
I have a question through email. Can we enter a state for a garage jurisdiction, or is it a drop down?
You can enter a state. It is a drop down, so it'll probably just pop up in the drop down and you can select it. You could enter a county or a city if it's within Virginia.
I have a question from an agent about the lease. When it comes to change of the IRP1B for lease date / lease end date, can we leave it as continuous or until cancel in writing or blank if it's permanent?
You have to give us a date.
And the next question is, if you have a portal with multiple accounts, how will that work?
So on that screen that I showed, that was my main screen. So that would have been the overview. There is a link up at the top where you can select to go back a page, which will allow you to see all your other customers. So that question, and I forgot to repeat it, and I'm apologizing. If I have more than one customer that I have access to, because I am an agent, how do I see everyone? So when you log in, you will see the list of all. You will choose the customer that you have access to, and then you will go do work for them. But you will only see those customers that you have been granted permissions to see. Any other questions?
Yes.
Email?
I do. It's from an agent. It says, do carriers need to assign us, appoint a third-party agent again and sign the agreements, or will it be in the system already? If so, can I get the copy of the agreement so I can work on it now? can I email them back to you?
So if you've already executed agreements and they have been approved, therefore you are acting as an agent today, that will be converted into the VIIM system. You will not need to do new agreements.
But for our agents, when we go live, once you log in, make sure you have access to everyone. If you're missing anyone, you can reach out and we'll get it resolved. We are checking, but we can't check every single one.
Any other questions in chat? If
How
not,
long will it take to add a new client under the agent access?
so the question is, how long will it take to add a new client within the agreement process? That's what
Under
under the agent. So you will go to the home page of VIIM system. You will click on a link, and we will show this maybe in our next session. But you will fill out a template which will complete the agreement. That will be for the agent agreement. If you are requesting access for a carrier, you can have the carrier log in. They can complete the agreement where they assign you. We do ask that it's about 24 to 48 hours. We will get everything electronically, so you no longer need to mail in the piece of paper agreement with your wet signature. The system will now capture your e-signature. You will have a certification for your e-signature. So that in itself probably saves everyone a good 2-week time period, because you're not waiting for the United States Postal Service to get it to us.
I have another question by email. I'm going to try to summarize this. Agent had 4 to 5 companies in my account, and I do not see any companies there. How can I put the companies again? Do I need an authorization or POA or agreement with the carrier again? Okay, so wait a minute. She just sent another email. Do we need to see our company in IFTA or VIIM system? Which is the web page for VIIM for our accounts?
So you will log into the system through the motor carrier portal. It uses credentials that are governed by IFTA authentication. When you get to the portal, you will click on the link for VIIM system. You can't click on the link today. Well, you can, but you're going to get an error, some type of 504 forbidden error, but that's because it's not ready till Monday. Once you log into VIIM system, you will see the list of accounts that you have active granted access to today in Virginia MCS. If you do not have an active granted access today, you will not get converted with access to them on Monday. You would need to execute new agreements.
Another great question. Will there be a demo section then, like there is an Easy Fleet that has walkthrough videos on how to do things?
There is a help, but there is not a section in Easy Fleet for demos. I meant VIIM system. I'm sorry, you guys. So VIIM system, no demos. There is a help guide, but as you can see, the system is very intuitive and easy to learn. Even if you have to click a couple times, you will easily find what you need. You can always email us if you need additional help. We will save these particular demo videos either within the YouTube session, or maybe we can save them on the DMV website.
I have a question through email. When I signed in with IFTA, the Easy Fleet link said I was suspended due to lack of use. Do I need Easy Fleet?
So Easy Fleet is used for titling purposes. So if you do not want to visit a DMV CSE or mail in title work and wait for it to be done, you would want access to Easy Fleet. It allows you to title new vehicles for your company and or yourself, whatever it is that you have access to, and then you can type that title information, so that title number and VIN 4, log into VIIM system, and add your vehicle all in the same day. I do believe we started with a question about the $65 fee that was charged for Okta authentication access. That will no longer be charged, so no one will need to pay a user fee to gain access through Okta authentication, not for EasyFleet and not for VIIM system. That goes into effect on Monday, August the 11th.
Okay, I have another question through email. With the future credit card processing fees for paying IFTA quarterly taxes mentioned in the video today, what process do we need to go through to get approved and set up for ACH payments in the new VIIM system? I tried to get set up earlier this year, but was told DMV is not approving any ACH debit or credit requests until after the transition of our new system is complete. Do I have to submit a new application request, or will the one I already submitted be processed in the new system? We have an ACH block with our bank, so we can't pay via e-check, and we prefer not to pay with the credit card moving forward.
So if you already have an ACH block, then paying by ACH would also be blocked. So you would definitely want to make sure you talk to your bank to ensure that that block is removed for the ACH revenue transfer process. We have your email, so we can send it to our financial team to see if they're able to locate your ACH debit request. And if they have it, we will have them get in touch with you. If we need a new one, we will email you back and let you know.
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah.
This is Kelly Stark.
Yeah, I have her.
All right, Kelly, so one of the managers, either Yolanda or Taylor, will get back with you into regards to what the next steps are. Any other questions in chat or by email?
One was, will there be a PDF manual available for all transactions for IRP and IFTA?
No, we do not have a PDF manual that will be available, but again, all of your transactions are easily accessible once you log in. We will save these videos, and if we create more, we will save those too. And you will have access, if you need us at any time, to send us an email to the VIIM system help@dmv.virginia.gov. You can also call our customer contact team. They would love to talk with you at any time. And the phone number, most of you already know, but it's 804-249-5140.
Another question by email. When I click on the motor carrier portal, my EasyFleet link shows, but I do not see a link for VIIM. What do I need to do to get it added?
Chat, that's a great question.
Follow up on, if we have their email, we can see if they were added to the VIIM system. But
And we will
should be seeing
check,
that now.
and we are talking to
Adam Ware from FL Moore.
All right, Adam, so we will check into your account to see what happened and if we need to do anything to help send you that link. Are there any questions in chat?
We do have a self-predicted roll carrier in the chat, just asking about the procedure with inventory. I let him know that myself and the large fleet coordinator will reach out to the procedure on how to add inventory.
So one of our large fleets are asking questions about inventory because our large fleets that are self-credential house inventory. The manager of the administrative operations team, Taylor, and the large fleet coordinator, who is the supervisor of the operations team, Marcus Anderson, they will be reaching out to you to go over the new procedure on what to do for inventory. There is a new great option though in VIIM system. You will be able to order new inventory directly from the VIIM system. So that we're very super excited, and it will even give you warnings when you fall below certain thresholds.
Another question by email. Will my transactions, including my archived IFTA reports, roll over to the new system?
So yes, everything will be converted, but nothing earlier than 2017. So everyone should get IFTA tax returns for 2017 to current, whether they were paid or not, but everything should convert.
2019.
you don't see it, it will be 2019. It should be 2017 for tax. No more questions? No more questions in chat. Sorry, I'm trying to look.
Well, do you have anything?
Yolanda, do you have anything?
I do not. That's it.
Well, if we do not have
Actually,
any,
I have another.
just
I do have one now. Question, how do you delete a vehicle in the new system?
so if you remember when I did the transfer demo, it told us that we had to first delete the vehicle that we wanted to transfer the plate from. So I went into the vehicle, I clicked on change, and I chose the option to delete the vehicle. So that will be saved in that demo. And you can go back and look at that demo at any time. No other questions?
No other questions, Cynthia?
Another question was about the fee. When they signed up for Easy Bridge, originally they had to pay the $65. They're just double checking that they will no longer have to pay it yearly.
You will no longer have to pay any new additional $65 fees for Okta credentials. Not even at renewal time. There is a renewal, but you won't even know it because we're not going to collect the revenue for it. It will be free of charge.
We want you to use these systems.
Yes, we want you to use the electronic systems. So outside of like the user, like the agreement processes for agents and carriers who are going to appoint an agent, were there any other transactions that you guys would like to see? I believe our next demo is after go live. So I'm sure there'll be more questions because you would have gotten into the system and might spark some new interest of questions. But is there anything else that you would like for us to prepare to show you in the next demo? Taylor, did we answer that one question from Alex? Navia?
They are asking under the old system when a vehicle is added to an IRP account and there's an error for an out of service stop from the previous owner, will the new system be notified? Will the new system notify FMCSA directly, or will management have to resolve it?
You will still receive a stop if the vehicle is coordinated with a carrier who's been placed out of service. Management will still get involved. We will probably pull FMCSA and ask if we are able to register the vehicle under the new motor carrier that is responsible for safety. And once that's been approved, we will override the error and allow you to register.
I just received a question and I'm responding to it. I went to DMV motor carrier and I'm not able to get in VIIM system. Where do I go? So I'm just gonna let them know that access to VIIM will not be available until Monday, August 11th.
All right, you will want to access the motor carrier portal. You want to apply your Okta authentication credentials to the login screen of the motor carrier portal. You will see the VIIM system access link if you have access today. Just remember, you can't click it today, or you can, but you're going to get an error. But on Monday, you will not receive the error.
Monday at 8 a.m.
Monday at 8 a.m.
Saturday volunteer or not?
Yes. All right. I do believe that might conclude the YouTube session for today. I'm looking at Taylor, making sure there's no additional comments, but I see something from Alex and something from AJ. So Taylor, do you need to read those questions?
More questions. They're going to email Taylor.
I think that's good for anyone who has more questions. If you want to, go ahead and send them by email.
Please email all your questions to the VIM system help@dmv.virginia.gov. Do not email us directly. I would hate that we would miss it and then you would miss getting an answer to your question. Oh, Yolanda has one last one.
Can we add other users on our accounts without having to send in a request via email?
If that is for user access, the answer to that is yes. So everybody should be saying, yay! There's no more form filling out. We can show you how to do that in our next session, but that is also done from that VIM system homepage.
So if you're the administrator, if you're the owner of the account or the administrator, you can add additional people online.
No more, what is the form? MCS 482? Yolanda says yes. That form is going to be put to rest. It won't even exist. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for everyone joining us today. This will conclude our YouTube session. Unless there are any emergency quick questions, we are going to bid everyone farewell and we will see you the next time after Go Live. So Monday morning, 8 o'clock. We are so excited.
We have, well done.
Signing out.